I can't believe today is finally here, I whispered to my reflection as I adjusted the veil. My hands trembled, but it was excitement, not nerves. Jake and I forever. The door creaked, and my bridesmaid, Sarah, poked her head in. You look stunning. Jake is the luckiest man alive. I smiled, cheeks warm. Do you think he's nervous? Probably pacing in his suit, she teased. But he'll melt when he sees you. I laughed softly, holding my bouquet close. I've dreamed of this day since he proposed. Minutes stretched. The music started outside. I waited for the signal, but no one came. My heart raced. Why isn't anyone calling me? Sarah frowned. Stay here. I'll check. I stood alone in the silence, the weight of my dress suddenly unbearable. My chest tightened as voices rose in the hall. The door burst open, and Sarah returned, pale. In her hands was an envelope. What's that? My throat dried. She handed it over. It's from Jake. No, my fingers shook as I ripped it open. The words blurred, but I forced myself to read. I can't do this. I'm sorry. That was it. 4 words that burned hotter than fire. My knees buckled, and Sarah caught me. This isn't real, I whispered. Tell me it's some sick joke. Her eyes filled with pity. I'm so sorry. I shook my head violently. He promised me. He swore we'd always be together. My voice cracked, echoing against the walls. Why would he leave me now? Sarah whispered. Everyone's waiting. They don't know what to do. I clutched the letter until it tore. They're waiting for a bride who doesn't have a groom. My chest heaved. Do I go out there? Do I face them? You don't have to, I do. My tears smeared my makeup, but I lifted my chin. I can't hide like a coward. The walk down the empty corridor felt like punishment. Guests whispered as I stepped into the light alone. My father rushed forward. Sweetheart, where's Jake? Gone. My voice cracked, but I forced a bitter smile. He left me a note instead of vows. Gasps rippled across the crowd. My mother covered her mouth, eyes wet. My father's face darkened with rage, but I waved him off. No speeches, I said, though my voice trembled. The wedding is over. The silence was suffocating. I turned, retreating before the stares could consume me. Back in the dressing room, I collapsed. Sarah knelt beside me. He didn't love me, I choked out. Not the way I loved him. You don't know that. I do. I pressed my palm against my chest. Because if he did, he'd be here. Not running. The veil slid from my head, pooling at my feet like the ruins of my dream. I curled into myself, whispering the only question that mattered. Who is Jake really? And how could I have been so blind? I sat in my room, staring at the shredded letter. My tears had dried, but my chest still throbbed. The knock on my door made me flinch. It's me, Amy called softly. Come in, I croaked. She entered with her phone clutched tight, her face pale. I didn't want to show you, but you need to see this. My stomach twisted. What is it? She hesitated, then held the phone out. It's everywhere. The press got it before we did. I snatched the phone and blinked at the screen. A headline glared back. Runaway groom. Jake spotted leaving town with Lily Carter. My breath hitched. Lily? Amy nodded, guilt in her eyes. Yes, you're Lily. Your maid of honor, your closest friend Lily. I shook my head violently. No, not her. She was supposed to stand beside me today. Amy's voice broke. I'm so sorry. They caught them boarding a flight together this morning, hand in hand. The room tilted. He left me for her? My best friend? Yes. Amy sank beside me. I wish it wasn't true. A laugh tore from my throat, sharp and bitter. So the letter wasn't about fear. It wasn't nerves. It was her, Amy whispered. It looks that way. I dropped the phone, clutching my chest. How could she? She listened to every dream I had about him. She helped me plan this wedding. She told me I was lucky. She betrayed you, Amy said firmly. Both of them did. I trusted them with my whole heart. My voice cracked. And they didn't just stab me in the back, they did it together. Amy touched my hand. You don't have to face this alone. I'm here. Tears blurred my vision again. I keep asking myself, was he ever in love with me? Or was he always looking at her when I wasn't watching? I don't know, Amy admitted, but he's a coward. And she's worse. I gritted my teeth. I keep seeing her smile, hearing her say she couldn't wait to walk me down the aisle. And now I know she was probably laughing behind my back. Amy's eyes hardened. Let the world see the truth about them. Don't let them destroy you. My breath came in ragged gasps. I feel like everything I believed in has been ripped away. Who am I if the people I loved most could do this? You're still you, she insisted. The woman Jake was too weak to deserve. The friend Lily could never be. Her words cut through the fog, but the ache remained. I thought I lost just one person today. Turns out, I lost two. And the one I lost who was supposed to be my sister in all but blood. Amy squeezed my fingers. Then they don't deserve you. Neither of them. I swallowed hard, my voice a whisper. This isn't heartbreak anymore, Amy. This is betrayal. And it's poison. She pulled me into her arms. Then we'll find a way to survive it together. For the first time since the altar, I let myself sob not just for Jake, but for Lily. The ride to my family's estate was silent, except for the pounding in my chest. When we arrived, my mother rushed to me, arms outstretched. Sweetheart, you're home now, she whispered. I leaned into her embrace, but the comfort felt thin. Home doesn't feel the same anymore. My father cleared his throat. You don't have to be strong right now. Just rest. I don't know how to rest, I admitted. Every time I close my eyes, I see him with her. My younger brother, Daniel, hovered near the doorway. Want me to punch him? I swear, I'll do it. Despite everything, a laugh escaped me short, broken. You're 16, Daniel. He'd crush you. Then I'll hit him where it hurts, he muttered. Like his car, Daniel, my mother warned, though her lips twitched. I shook my head. Don't waste your anger on him. He already took enough from me. The silence grew heavy. Finally, I asked, how do I live with this? How do I wake up tomorrow without feeling like half of me is missing? My father sat down beside me. You live 1 hour at a time. That's all anyone can do. 1 hour feels endless, I whispered. Amy, who had come with me, touched my shoulder. Then let's just get through tonight. No expectations, no pretending. I nodded, though my throat ached. I thought by now I'd be wearing a ring, celebrating with Jake. Instead, I'm here empty. Not empty, my mother corrected gently. Wounded, yes, but still you. Her words pierced me. I don't even know who me is anymore. You're my daughter, my father said firmly. Smart, stubborn, stronger than you realize. I looked down at my hands, the pale skin where a ring should have been. If I'm strong, why do I feel like I'm drowning? Because healing doesn't feel strong, Amy said. It feels messy and endless. But it still counts. Daniel piped up again, softer this time. Maybe you don't have to be strong right now. Maybe you just need to let us carry you a little. My chest tightened, but this time with gratitude. I don't want to be a burden. You're not, my mother insisted. Family doesn't weigh each other down. We hold each other up. For a moment, I closed my eyes and listened to their voices. It didn't erase the ache, but it dulled it. Finally, I whispered, then maybe tomorrow I'll start small. Just getting out of bed without breaking apart. That's enough, Amy assured. Piece by piece. I breathed deeply, trying to believe her. Piece by piece, I echoed, though the words tasted fragile. That night, as I lay in the quiet of my old room, I whispered to myself, he may have taken my wedding day, but he won't take the rest of me. It wasn't healing yet, but maybe it was the first step. I sat across the long mahogany table, staring at the stack of files in front of me. My family's business was slipping, and I could barely focus long enough to read a single page. You look like hell, a deep voice cut in. I turned sharply. Excuse me? Marcus Hale leaned against the doorway, his expensive suit perfectly tailored, his smirk infuriating. I said you look like hell, he repeated calmly. I thought brides glowed after their big day, not hid in boardrooms drowning in paperwork. My chest tightened. You don't get to mention my wedding. He raised a brow. Fair enough, but you should thank me. I'm here to help. I scoffed. Help? Why would Jake's greatest rival suddenly care about me? Marcus moved closer, pulling out a chair across from me. Because unlike Jake, I don't run when things get hard. The jab stung, but I didn't let it show. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Watching me fall apart. Not exactly, he said. I'm offering you a way to stop falling. I crossed my arms. And what's in it for you? His eyes glinted. Partnership. You have a company bleeding out. I have the resources to revive it. Together, we could win. I narrowed my gaze. You sound like this is a business proposal, not charity. Of course it is, he said smoothly. I don't do charity, but I do recognize talent when I see it. You're smarter than Jake ever gave you credit for. My breath caught, anger and pride tangled in my chest. Don't talk about him. Why not? Marcus leaned back casually. He underestimated you. I won't. I stared at him, unsettled. Why me, Marcus? You could partner with anyone. He smirked. Because you're the only one I can't stop noticing. My face heated, and I looked away. This isn't the time for games. Who said I was playing? He asked softly. Silence stretched between us, charged and dangerous. Finally, I whispered, you don't even know me. Maybe not yet, he replied, voice low, but I want to. I searched his eyes, unsure if I should trust him. If I let you in, Marcus, you'll use me. Just like he did, he leaned forward, his tone sharper now. No, if you let me in, I'll push you. I'll remind you that you're not broken, that you can rise again, with me or without me. Something inside me stirred a spark I hadn't felt since before the betrayal. Still, I tried to shut it down. You're dangerous, he smiled faintly. So are you. That's why we'd work. I exhaled shakily, gathering the scattered files. Fine, show me how this partnership would look. Tomorrow, he said, standing. Dinner, business, and maybe not just business. My heart skipped. You're insufferable, yet you didn't say no, he replied, walking away, left alone. I whispered into the silence. What are you doing to me, Marcus? Smile, Marcus murmured beside me as cameras flashed. I forced my lips into something resembling confidence. I hate these charity galas. You hate being seen, he corrected. But you're stronger every time you walk into one. I exhaled slowly, scanning the glittering room. And then I saw him, Jake, standing near the bar, his gaze fixed on me like a shadow that refused to fade. Marcus noticed instantly. Ignore him. I'm trying, I whispered. Jake didn't move, but his eyes followed me across the room, burning with something between longing and regret. Marcus leaned closer. He looks pathetic, don't I? Muttered. I don't need you provoking him. I don't need to. He's already unraveling. I tightened my grip on the champagne flute. He's not my problem anymore. Then stop looking, Marcus said firmly. I started. But Marcus's raised brow silenced me. Later, when I slipped onto the balcony to breathe, Jake appeared. His voice was rough. You're different. I froze. Go back inside. I just want to talk. There's nothing left to say, I replied coldly, his jaw clenched. You won't even look at me. I turned, meeting his eyes at last. Because every time I do, I remember how easily you threw me away. Pain flickered across his face. It wasn't easy. Then why did you do it? My voice cracked despite my resolve. I was a fool, he admitted. And now I see you with him, Marcus, of all people. It kills me. You don't get to be jealous, I snapped. I'm not jealous, he lied. Your eyes tell a different story. Silence pressed between us, heavy with everything unsaid. Finally, I whispered. You chose her, Jake. You chose everyone but me. Now you get to live with it. He stepped closer, desperation raw in his tone. But I cut him off. Don't. Whatever you're about to say, don't. It's too late. The balcony doors creaked open, and Marcus stepped out. Is he bothering you? Jake's expression hardened. Stay out of this, Marcus smirked. I already am in this. Both of you stop, I snapped. This isn't some game. I'm not a prize for either of you to fight over. Marcus glanced at me, softer now. Then walk away. You don't owe him a single word. My chest rose and fell as I turned back to Jake. His eyes begged, but I had nothing left to give. I'm done looking back, I said quietly. Jake's lips parted, but no words came. I walked past him, back inside, my heels clicking against the marble. Marcus slipped an arm around me. Proud of you, he whispered. I didn't answer. Inside, a part of me still trembled, but for the first time, I chose not to let Jake see it. Try it, Marcus urged, pushing a plate toward me. I eyed the dish suspiciously. What is it? Something French I can't pronounce, he admitted with a grin. I laughed before I could stop myself. You're supposed to impress me with your worldliness. Who says I'm trying to impress you? His smirk deepened. You always are, I teased, then caught myself, heat rushing to my face. His gaze softened. It's good to hear you laugh again. I set my fork down. Don't make it sound like I've been miserable all the time. You've been surviving, he said gently. That's different. His words hit deeper than I wanted to admit. I looked away, pretending to study the chandeliers above us. Maybe I'm learning how to live again, good Marcus said. Because life's too short to let ghosts keep you prisoner. I swallowed hard. You make it sound so simple. It's not simple, he admitted. But it's possible. The warmth in his voice unsettled me. Was it just kindness? Or something more? Later, as we walked out of the restaurant, he asked quietly, "Do you trust me?" The question startled me. Why would you ask that? Because I can see you want to. But you're still holding back. Maybe I'm protecting myself, I whispered. Or maybe you're afraid of feeling something again. I stopped in my tracks, staring at him. And what if I am? He smiled faintly. Then at least you're honest about it. Something flickered between us, then something I hadn't felt in months. It scared me as much as it comforted me. The following week, we attended a gala together. My gown shimmered under the lights, and for once, I felt beautiful instead of broken. "You're glowing tonight," Marcus whispered as he guided me through the crowd. "Don't exaggerate." "I'm not," he insisted. "Everyone's looking at you." I wanted to believe him. For a moment, I almost did until I saw them, Jake and Lily, hand in hand, smiling like the world belonged to them. My chest tightened. "Not tonight," I muttered under my breath. Marcus followed my gaze, his jaw hardening. "Ignore them." "I can't," I whispered. Jake noticed me then. His smile faltered, his eyes locking with mine across the room. Lily tugged at his arm, but he didn't look away. Marcus leaned closer. "Do you want to leave?" "No," my voice shook, but I steadied it. "I won't run." "Good," he murmured, sliding his hand over mine. "Then hold your head high." I tried, but Jake's stare pierced through me. He looked happy with her, or at least determined to appear that way. It shouldn't have mattered, yet it stabbed me. Marcus's grip tightened. "You're stronger than this." "Am I?" I whispered. "Yes," he said firmly. "You are." Later that night, on the drive home, I sat in silence, replaying Jake's smile, Lily's hand resting possessively on his arm. Marcus finally broke the silence. "Say it." "Say what?" "Whatever's spinning in your head. Don't hold it in." I exhaled shakily. "I hate that it still hurts." "Of course it hurts," he said softly. "But pain doesn't mean you're still his." I turned to him, searching his face. "And what if I'm just pretending to move on? What if I'm not ready?" His expression shifted, raw and vulnerable. "Then let me be patient with you. I'm not asking you to be ready tonight. I'm just asking you not to shut me out." I hesitated, my heart racing. "Marcus," he reached for my hand. "Just think about it. That's all." And for the first time in a long time, I let myself hold on. "Why are you so quiet tonight?" Marcus asked as we entered the ballroom. "I'm just taking it all in," I murmured. The chandeliers glittered, the music swelled, and the crowd felt like an ocean of expectation pressing in. "You look breathtaking," he whispered, leaning close. "Stop trying to charm me." I laughed softly, but my chest felt tight. Not charm, truth. His eyes held mine longer than usual. Something burning there I couldn't quite name. We mingled. We smiled. We played the part of the powerful pair. But the way Marcus kept watching me unsettled me, as if he was waiting for the perfect moment. And then it came. He tapped his glass, silencing the crowd. "I have something to say." I froze. "Marcus, what are you doing?" I whispered. He smiled faintly. "Trust me." Before I could react, he dropped to one knee. Gasps filled the room. My heart stopped. "Marry me," Marcus said, his voice steady, eyes unflinching. "I don't want to just stand beside you in business. I want to stand beside you in everything." The crowd erupted in whispers. My breath caught. "Marcus, this is real," he interrupted gently. "It's real for me. Is it for you?" Tears pricked my eyes. For months, I had been piecing myself back together, and here he was, offering me something whole. "Yes," I whispered. "Yes." Applause thundered. Marcus slipped the ring onto my finger, then stood and kissed me soft, certain, grounding. But when I opened my eyes, I saw him. Jake. He stood near the back, his face pale, his fists clenched. His eyes were locked on me, wild with something I hadn't seen before, desperation. Marcus followed my gaze. His arm tightened around me protectively. "Ignore him," he muttered. But I couldn't. Jake pushed through the crowd, his voice sharp. "You can't be serious." The music faltered. The room hushed. I stiffened. "Jake, don't. You don't love him." Jake's voice cracked. "You can't." "Enough," Marcus snapped, stepping forward. Jake's eyes burned. "You think this fixes everything? You think marrying her makes her yours?" "It already does," Marcus shot back. I raised my voice, trembling. "Stop it, both of you." The silence that followed was suffocating. All eyes were on us, on me. My pulse pounded as I faced Jake. You made your choice, I said, my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. You left me, and now you don't get to decide what I do with my life. Jake shook his head, pain etched across his features. I was wrong. I was so wrong. And now I'm losing you for good. You already lost me, I whispered. His eyes glistened, but he said nothing more. He turned and stormed out, the crowd parting around him like shadows. I exhaled shakily, realizing I'd been holding my breath. Marcus pulled me closer. I'm sorry he ruined this moment. I shook my head, gripping his hand. No, he didn't. I said yes, Marcus. That's all that matters. He searched my face, his expression softening. Do you mean it? I met his gaze, the weight of my decision pressing in. Yes, I mean it. The crowd erupted again, music resumed, and Marcus kissed me once more. But even as the celebration roared around us, a whisper of guilt tugged at me. Somewhere deep inside, I knew Jake's heartbreak wasn't just his, it was a shadow I would carry too. I didn't expect him to show up at my office. Yet there he was, leaning against the glass doors like he belonged, his face pale, eyes hollow. Jake, I said sharply, what are you doing here? He pushed off the wall, his voice low but fierce. I need answers. You don't deserve them. I tried to walk past, but he blocked me. Did you ever love me? He demanded, his jaw tight. I froze, anger flaring. How dare you ask me that after what you did? His voice cracked. I need to know. I glared at him. Yes, Jake. I loved you more than anything. I built my whole future around you. And you destroyed it. His eyes closed, his breath unsteady. Then why does it feel like you never loved me at all? Because you can't accept that I've moved on, I snapped. He stepped closer, desperation seeping through. Do you even remember us? The nights we stayed up talking, the promises we made? My throat tightened. I remember everything. That's what makes this harder. You made me believe I mattered, and then you left me for her. He flinched, pain flashing across his face. It was a mistake, the biggest one of my life. I crossed my arms. Mistakes have consequences. Jake's voice rose. I can't stand watching you with him. Marcus doesn't deserve you. Marcus treats me with respect. I shot back. Something you forgot how to do. He shook his head, bitter. You think he loves you? He only wants to win against me. That's your pride talking, I said firmly. Not the truth. He grabbed my wrist, not roughly, but with urgency. Don't marry him. Come back to me. We can fix this. I yanked free, my voice shaking with fury. No, Jake. There's no fixing what you broke. You chose her. You humiliated me. And now you want me to forget it all? His eyes glistened. I was scared. I didn't know what I wanted. And I paid the price for your fear, I whispered. Silence stretched between us. He looked at me like a man drowning, clinging to the last piece of driftwood. Finally, he said, I still love you. Tears burned my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. Maybe you do, but love isn't enough. Not anymore. His lips parted, but no words came. He sagged against the wall, broken, the weight of his choices pressing down. I steadied my voice. You wanted to know if I loved you. I did. I gave you everything. But that girl died the day you left me. And she's never coming back. Jake's shoulders shook. Then who are you now? I lifted my chin. Someone stronger. Someone who doesn't need you. He looked at me as if I'd struck him. So that's it? Yes, I whispered. That's it. He turned away, dragging a hand through his hair, muttering curses under his breath. For a moment, he seemed like a stranger. Watching him stumble toward the exit, I felt the ache in my chest ease, just a little. His downfall wasn't my burden anymore. Marcus's voice echoed in my memory. Walk forward. Don't look back. For the first time, I understood. Jake had crumbled, and I had risen. Are you ready? Amy whispered, adjusting my veil. I smiled nervously at her in the mirror. Do I look ready? You look like someone who finally found her strength, she said softly. My chest tightened. I didn't think I'd make it here. You did, she reminded me. And you're not walking alone this time. The doors opened, music swelled, and suddenly every face was turned toward me. My father offered his arm. One last walk, sweetheart. I nodded, gripping his sleeve. My heels clicked against the marble as I stepped forward. My heart pounded, not from fear, but from certainty. And then I saw Marcus waiting at the altar. His eyes locked on me, warm, steady, filled with something I once thought I'd never find again, safety. When I reached him, he whispered, You're breathtaking. I blinked away tears. Don't make me cry before I even say my vows, he chuckled softly, squeezing my hand. But just beyond him, in the crowd, I caught the piercing gaze that haunted me. Jake, he sat in the back, his face pale, his expression raw. Regret clung to him like a shadow. Marcus leaned closer. Ignore him. Today is ours. I know, I whispered, my chest aching. The officiant spoke, words about love, commitment, and promises, but my mind buzzed. Every vow Marcus made, every word I echoed, felt like stitching together the pieces of my soul. When it was my turn, my voice trembled but didn't break. I promise to stand with you, not because I need saving, but because you make me want to keep walking forward. Marcus's eyes glistened. And I promise to never let you forget how strong you are even when you forget yourself. The crowd sighed, the words wrapping around us like light. Then came the kiss. Marcus leaned in, his lips brushing mine, gentle yet certain. The world blurred, but the warmth in his touch anchored me. Applause erupted. Cheers, filling the air. I turned slightly, and there he was, Jake, his fists clenched, his lips pressed tight, eyes glistening with a storm of emotions. He looked broken, as though every clap echoed his loss. For a heartbeat, our eyes met, and in that single glance, I saw it all: his regret, his self-hatred, his crumbling pride. Amy whispered in my ear, "Don't look at him. This is your moment." I nodded quickly, turning back to Marcus, who lifted my hand high as if declaring victory. Later, at the reception, Marcus pulled me close during the first dance. "You're quiet." "I'm overwhelmed," I admitted, leaning against him. "In a good way." "You're thinking about him," Marcus said quietly. I swallowed hard. I saw his face. He looked ruined. Marcus's voice was steady. "He ruined himself. Don't carry his burden." "I'm not," I said softly. "But part of me wonders if he'll ever forgive himself." "That's not your responsibility," Marcus reminded me. "Your only responsibility is to yourself and to us." I looked up at him, the ring heavy on my finger, his hand firm on my waist. "You're right. I've given Jake enough of my life, and now you're mine," Marcus said, his lips brushing my forehead. For the first time, I didn't flinch at the word. As the night went on, laughter, clinking glasses, and music wrapped around us. Guests celebrated, toasts were made, and for once, I wasn't hiding behind forced smiles. I was living, but every so often, my eyes drifted to the doorway where I had last seen Jake. He hadn't stayed for the reception. He had slipped away, his absence as loud as his presence. Part of me mourned. The boy I once loved, the man I thought he'd be. But as I looked at Marcus, solid, unwavering, I knew mourning was all I owed Jake now. When the music swelled again, Marcus whispered, "This is just the beginning." I rested my head on his chest. Yes, finally, it's the beginning. And though Jake's shadow lingered, it no longer held me. Amy called me one afternoon, her voice urgent. "Have you heard?" I frowned. "Heard what?" "Jake, it's everywhere. His company gone. Investors pulled out. Partners cut ties. He's finished." I froze, the words echoing. "Already?" "Yes," she whispered. "It's ugly. People are saying he burned every bridge. No one's standing with him." I sat down slowly. "So it's finally happening. It's karma," Amy said firmly. "Exactly what he deserves." Later that evening, I saw him. Not the Jake I remembered, not the man who once carried himself with smug confidence. He stood outside a cafe, clothes wrinkled, hair unkempt, face drawn. He noticed me, and his eyes widened. "You heard, didn't you?" I nodded softly. "Everyone has." He gave a hollow laugh. "Figures. News spreads faster when it's about failure." I studied him, his shoulders slumped. "What happened? What didn't?" He muttered bitterly. "Deals collapsed, friends vanished, even my family won't return my calls. It's like the whole world was waiting to watch me fall." I swallowed. "Maybe it wasn't the world. Maybe it was just you setting yourself up." His jaw tightened. "You think I don't know that? I destroyed everything. I thought I was untouchable, and now look at me." Silence stretched between us, heavy with everything unsaid. Finally, he whispered, "Do you hate me?" I took a breath. "I don't, not anymore. I think I pitied you for a long time. Now I just see the truth." "The truth?" His voice cracked. "That you've lost more than me. You've lost yourself." His eyes glistened, his fists clenching. "I never thought I'd see the day you looked at me like this." "Neither did I admitted. "But here we are." He let out a shaky laugh. "And Marcus?" You're happy? Yes, I said simply. Happier than I've ever been. Jake's face twisted with something between regret and longing. I thought I'd always have a hold on you. You did, I confessed softly. But not anymore. He sank onto a bench, burying his face in his hands. I have nothing left. No friends, no business, no love, just ruins. I hesitated, then sat across from him. Jake, this is what karma looks like. It's not punishment, it's consequence. You chose this path. He looked up at me, eyes bloodshot. So what now? Do I just keep falling? That's your choice, I said gently. But I'm not here to save you. He stared at me for a long time, then nodded slowly. I guess I always expected you'd come back. That no matter what I did, you'd forgive me. I forgave you, I whispered. But forgiveness doesn't mean return. For the first time, he didn't argue. He just sat there, defeated. I rose, smoothing my dress. Goodbye, Jake. His voice was barely audible. Goodbye. Walking away, I felt no triumph, no gloating, just release. The weight I'd carried for years slipped from my shoulders, leaving me lighter than I'd ever felt. Amy called later. So how did it feel? Peaceful, I answered truthfully. Not because he lost, but because I don't have to carry his sins anymore. She was quiet for a moment. That's closure. Yes, I said softly, looking at the horizon. That's closure. And for the first time, I believed it. Marcus poured me a glass of wine and handed it over. To us, he said with a smile. I clinked my glass against his. To us. He leaned back, studying me. You look lighter. Like something finally shifted. I exhaled softly. It has. I saw Jake, and for the first time, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel tied to him. Just free. Marcus reached for my hand. You don't owe him your pain anymore. I know, I whispered. I spent so long carrying guilt, shame, wondering if I was broken. But now, I see it wasn't me, it was him. And I survived. Marcus squeezed my hand gently. You did more than survive. You built something new. I smiled faintly. With you. With us, he corrected warmly. You gave me a chance when you didn't have to. And I'll never stop being grateful for that. I laughed softly. You make it sound like I did you a favor. You did, he said seriously. You healed parts of me too. Maybe we both needed saving. I looked at him, his steady eyes meeting mine. Do you ever worry about us? Every day, he admitted with a grin. But love isn't about certainty. It's about choosing each other anyway. That made me pause, my chest tightening in the best way. I never thought I'd feel this again. Trust, hope, happiness. After everything, I thought love would always mean betrayal. Marcus brushed his thumb over my knuckles. And now it means home, I said quietly, his eyes softened. Good, because I'm not going anywhere. I leaned closer, resting my head against his shoulder. I believe you. We sat in silence for a moment, the kind of silence that didn't need filling. For once, there was no shadow lurking, no ghost in the corner of my mind. Just us. Marcus broke the quiet. So, what's next for us? I laughed. I don't know. And that doesn't scare me anymore. He tilted his head. Starting fresh is a kind of magic, isn't it? It is, I agreed. Because it's not about what we lost, it's about what we're building. And what do you want to build? He asked gently. I looked at him, my heart steady. A life that's mine. With you by my side. Nothing perfect. Nothing flashy. Just real. Marcus smiled. The kind of smile that made me believe him. Then that's exactly what we'll have. I raised my glass again. To a new beginning. He tapped his against mine. To our beginning. As I met his gaze, I felt at peace. The past was behind me. Jake was behind me. For the first time, I wasn't defined by what broke me, but by what I chose to embrace. And I chose him.